This week's US CQM forecast alert is the effect of September CPI on CQM forecast. This week, due to the ongoing government shutdown, we have updated only the September CPI statistics. These actual figures are compared to the September ARIMA forecast. For example, the September CPI for automobiles was minus 0.04%, below the ARIMA forecast of 0.24%. As a result, the price deflator for automobile PCE will be revised downward. Meanwhile, energy CPI grew by 1.51% in September, exceeding the ARIMA forecast of 0.54%. As a result, the energy PCE price deflator will be revised upward. Headline inflation was revised slightly downward from 2.60% to 2.59% in 2025 Q3, but upward from 2.63% to 2.86% in Q4. As a result, real PCE was revised slightly upward from 2.91% to 2.92% in 2025 Q3, but downward from 0.09% to minus 0.13% in Q4. This shows that the US economy is slowing in 2025 Q4 due to stagnant personal consumption expenditures. Both real GDP growth rates in 2025 Q3 have been revised upward by 0.01%. If we focus only on the expenditure side, the economic growth rate for 2025 Q3 is not bad. The economic growth rate for 2025 Q4 has been revised downward by 0.13% on both sides due to stagnant personal consumption expenditure and an increase in the GDP price deflator. The average economic growth rate for both sides was predicted to be 0.89%, below 1%. A reduction in policy interest rate is expected to prevent an economic slowdown. Regarding inflation in 2025 Q3, all indicators are predicted between 2.5% and 3.0%. Inflation for 2025 Q4 was revised slightly upward this week, but remains in the 2.5% to 3.0% range. Due to the government shutdown, many important September economic indicators have not been released. Therefore, we incorporated the ISM manufacturing and non-manufacturing indexes into our PCA forecast. As a result, the economic growth rate for 2025 Q3 was forecasted to be 2.94%, about 1% higher than the economic growth rate on the CQM expenditure side. Conclusion from this week's US CQM forecast alert. The first, CQM forecasts U.S. economic growth to slow to below 1% in 2025 Q4. The second, if we focus only on real GDP on the expenditure side in 2025 Q3, we may see an unexpectedly high growth rate, which could cause us to miss the economic slowdown. The third, inflation rates are expected to remain within the 2.5% to 3.0% range for both 2025 Q3 and Q4. The fourth, to prevent an economic slowdown, a 25 basis point cut in the policy rate would be desirable at the FOMC meeting on October 28 and 29. This slide contains additional information about this week's detailed CQM forecast.